The death of Natalie Wood has haunted Hollywood for over 4 decades, leaving questions that refuse to fade. At the center of this enduring mystery stands Robert Wagner, her husband, who has spent nearly his entire life under the weight of speculation, rumor, and grief. Once celebrated for his charm and elegance, Wagner became a figure entwined with sorrow and suspicion after that tragic night in 1981. Now, at 95, he has finally broken his long-held silence, offering a glimpse into the private torment and regret he has carried all these years. It is not a confession nor a defense. It is the story of a man grappling with love, loss, and the haunting memory of the last moments he shared with his wife. The yacht and the evening's plans. Natalie Wood and Robert Wagner set sail on their yacht, the Splendor, anticipating a quiet, restorative weekend away from Hollywood's chaos. Christopher Walken and Captain Dennis Davern accompanied them. Initially, the evening was filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and light-hearted conversation. Locals later recalled seeing them at a nearby restaurant, enjoying the night and celebrating friendship. Everything seemed ordinary and joyful at first glance. The yacht itself, modest but comfortable, became a floating stage where human emotions quietly shifted beneath the surface. Though smiles and joy were present, subtle tensions were beginning to build. These small, almost invisible moments would later prove crucial in understanding the events of the night. What was meant to be a serene escape slowly became an evening shadowed by personal and emotional complexity. Subtle tensions begin. As drinks were poured and conversations deepened, minor disagreements emerged. Talk shifted to Natalie's career ambitions, highlighting her desire to pursue more serious acting roles. While casual on the surface, the conversation touched on underlying insecurities and personal dynamics aboard the yacht. Emotions ran higher than anyone expected. Wagner's temperament, typically calm and collected, reportedly shifted in response to perceived slights and misunderstandings. Small moments of tension can seem inconsequential, yet they often foreshadow significant events. The interplay of friendship, jealousy, and personal desires quietly built a simmering atmosphere, setting the stage for the tragedy that would later unfold. These subtle changes in mood underscore how complex human relationships can be when confined to an intimate, isolated setting. An unexpected altercation. By late evening, the atmosphere aboard the Splendor changed drastically. Captain Davern recalled that a heated exchange occurred, which reportedly involved heightened voices and expressions of frustration. The playful energy that characterized the night evaporated. Those aboard experienced the tension physically, sensing the emotional shift. Walken reportedly stepped away to avoid further conflict, leaving Wagner and Wood alone. The shift from conviviality to tension illustrates how quickly human interactions can escalate in confined spaces. These moments of emotional intensity, though not unusual in everyday life, gain significance when they precede an unexpected and tragic outcome. Understanding these dynamics provides context for the unfolding events, highlighting the delicate balance of emotions, misunderstandings, and human vulnerability. Natalie's disappearance. Moments later, Natalie Wood was no longer aboard the yacht. Wagner initially assumed she had gone to bed, unaware of her absence until later. The small rubber dinghy used to reach shore was missing, yet Natalie's fear of deep water made this situation confusing to those who knew her well. The urgency of the search increased when Wagner contacted the Coast Guard in the early hours. Rescue teams combed the ocean under harsh conditions, facing freezing temperatures and heavy waves. Dawn revealed the tragic truth. Natalie had drowned. This moment became the turning point, transforming a weekend getaway into a historical event shrouded in mystery, grief, and emotional turmoil. The confusion surrounding her disappearance emphasized the unpredictability of accidents and the fragility of life, even in seemingly ordinary settings. Initial investigation and public reaction. The official investigation initially concluded that Natalie's death was accidental. Media outlets, investigators, and the public quickly accepted this narrative, seeking closure in a shocking situation. Yet many questions remained unanswered. The circumstances surrounding the dinghy, the placement of items aboard the yacht, and other minor details complicated the seemingly straightforward story. Hollywood and fans alike struggled to reconcile the tragedy with the glamorous image of Natalie Wood. As public interest peaked, private grief intertwined with public scrutiny, shaping Wagner's life and reputation. The early investigation illustrates how complex emotions and perceptions influence public understanding of tragic events, particularly when the individuals involved are high-profile celebrities. The search for clarity, while essential, often collides with human error, fear, and the desire for a neat resolution. Clues and conflicting evidence. Small details began to emerge that challenged the initial accident theory. The dinghy was discovered adrift, seemingly unused, and items aboard suggested it had not been operated recently. The absence of footprints or evidence of activity raised questions about how Natalie might have ended up in the water. These inconsistencies complicated the investigation, highlighting how small overlooked details can shift understanding. Investigators needed to piece together evidence carefully, considering both physical findings and human behavior. While nothing explicitly indicated wrongdoing, these discrepancies underscored the challenges in interpreting an accident and emphasized the role of context, timing, and circumstance in complex incidents. Such subtleties remind us that tragedies often exist in a gray area between fact, perception, and speculation. Medical findings and autopsy. Natalie's autopsy revealed that she had consumed alcohol and certain medications, which may have contributed to weakness or imbalance. Additionally, bruises were found on her arms and legs, hinting at potential struggles or accidents prior to her entering the water. These medical findings complicated the narrative, prompting further scrutiny from investigators. While her death was ruled as drowning, the additional context introduced ambiguity. Autopsies often provide clarity but can also reveal complexity in cases involving multiple contributing factors. This situation illustrates the intersection of biology, environment, and human behavior in understanding how tragic events unfold. Even decades later, these details continue to shape interpretations and discussions about the night of her disappearance. Witness accounts. Eyewitnesses who were nearby during the night later reported hearing distressing sounds from the water, including calls for help. Although their recollections varied in detail, the accounts contributed a human dimension to the tragedy. The emotional intensity of hearing someone in danger underscores the personal impact of such events beyond official reports. Witness testimonies, while subjective, provide context and highlight the perspectives of those indirectly involved. These accounts help humanize the narrative, revealing fear, urgency, and confusion experienced by others who were inadvertently part of a traumatic moment. Witness statements also illustrate the difficulty of establishing a definitive timeline in chaotic circumstances. especially when events occur at night or under challenging environmental conditions. Robert Wagner's perspective. Wagner has consistently expressed deep sorrow and regret over the events. His accounts of the night evolved over time, reflecting both grief and the difficulty of recalling a traumatic incident. In his memoir, he emphasized the pain of losing Natalie and the enduring impact on his life. His perspective provides a lens into human grief, illustrating the emotional toll of loss and the complexity of memory. Wagner's reflections highlight the intersection of love, guilt, and the challenge of reconciling personal responsibility with unforeseen tragedy. His words underscore that regardless of public perception, grief can be profound, multifaceted, and lifelong, shaping identity, relationships, and personal narrative in ways that often remain invisible to the outside world. Lana Wood's advocacy. Natalie's sister, Lana Wood, has been a persistent voice advocating for clarity and investigation. Her efforts included interviews and memoirs, emphasizing a desire to preserve Natalie's memory and seek understanding. Lana's perspective reminds us that family members often navigate the dual burden of personal grief and public attention. Advocacy in such circumstances is both emotional and practical, reflecting an attempt to reconcile loss with a quest for truth. While perspectives differ, her efforts illustrate the human need for closure and the emotional weight carried by loved ones. Lana's dedication highlights how tragedy resonates beyond those immediately involved, affecting family, friends, and communities invested in the memory of the lost individual. The passage of time and ongoing questions. Even decades later, the circumstances surrounding Natalie's death continue to spark discussion and curiosity. Investigations have reopened multiple times, witness accounts revisited, and medical findings reinterpreted. Yet, definitive answers remain elusive. The passage of time adds layers of complexity as memories fade, records are lost, and public perception evolves. What remains consistent is the enduring impact of the event on those connected to Natalie Wood. The mystery persists, not because evidence is lacking, but because human experience, memory, and emotion resist neat explanations. This ongoing ambiguity reflects the broader truth that some events defy closure, leaving only reflection, speculation, and the emotional imprint on those left behind. Legacy of Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood's life and career continue to inspire admiration and affection. She is remembered not only for her talent and charm, but for her resilience, warmth, and the joy she brought to those around her. The tragedy of her death adds a layer of poignancy to her legacy, reminding the world of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of circumstances. Celebrating her achievements while acknowledging the complexity of her passing allows for a fuller understanding of her impact. Her story encourages empathy, curiosity, and a recognition of the nuanced human experiences that define both triumph and tragedy. Wood's legacy endures in film, memory, and cultural consciousness. Robert Wagner's later life. Following the tragedy, Wagner withdrew from public life, focusing on family and personal reflection. The events of that night remained an emotional presence, shaping his actions, relationships, and daily experiences. Even in later years, he revisited memories of Natalie and the yacht incident with a mixture of sorrow, regret, and reflection. The passage of time did not erase the emotional weight, and his life illustrates how personal loss can transform identity and perspective. Wagner's experience underscores that public personas often conceal private grief, and that surviving loss requires ongoing adjustment, reflection, and understanding. His story also highlights the enduring influence of major life events on personal narrative and public perception. Concluding reflection. Decades after Natalie Wood's death, her story remains a mixture of memory, mystery, and emotional resonance. While factual certainty may never be fully achieved, the human experiences surrounding the event, love, loss, grief, and reflection, remain deeply relatable. The tragedy shaped the lives of Wagner, Lana Wood, and others, leaving an indelible imprint on Hollywood and public consciousness. In the end, the narrative serves as a reminder of life's fragility, the complexity of human emotion, and the enduring search for understanding when faced with loss. Natalie's memory and the questions surrounding that fateful night continue to resonate, illustrating that some stories are never truly finished.